Hello, welcome to Rose Recap Channel. This movie is about the friendship of An Miso and Go Ha-yoon. It begins with the scenes in the year 2022 where An Miso is invited to gallery and asked about the artist of the portrait, who is Go Ha-yoon, but she says that she is not in contact with her. They show her Ha-yoon's blogs where she wrote about their friendship. She meets Ham Jin-woo near the elevator where it seems like they knew each other from past. He also asks her about Go Ha-yoon, but she replies that she has not seen her for a long time as they were friends in the past. While she was reading the blog, she remembered how she first met Go Ha-yoon when they were at school. Miso transferred to the island from Seoul, where Ha-yoon was living. Miso hated the fact that her mother was constantly leaving her and ran away from school, but Ha-yoon went after her with her backpack, and that was the beginning of their friendship. They started to spend their entire time with each other and fun time together. She goes to Ha-yoon's home and becomes very close to her and her family. Ha-yoon is very good at drawing and tells Miso that she can draw as well. Miso's mother left the island to go to Seoul, but Miso was happy to be with her new friend and her family. She did not complain anymore about the fact that she is away from her mother, as she enjoyed her time there with Ha-yoon. Then the time passes to when they are in high school. They are still very close to each other as they skip their school to have fun time with each other and playing around. They enjoyed their youth together by running around and having fun time without any worries. Miso is more energetic and does whatever she wants in her life, while Ha-yoon is more on the calm side where she wants to become a teacher as her parents tell her that drawing won't make any future for her. Therefore, she sometimes says that she is jealous how Miso is free-spirited. Ha-yoon wants to live like her and be free to do whatever she wants in her life without any limits. Miso often says that she wants to live until age of 27, where Ha-yoon gets angry and tells her to not die before her, and Miso tells her that she was just joking around. Miso buys earrings for Ha-yoon on her birthday, where she wears one pair of it, and makes Miso wear the other pair of the earring as a sign of their friendship. They start talking about relationship, where Ha-yoon tells her that she likes a boy that she has met recently, and there is a blind date where he will be there too. Miso goes to his school to check on him and make sure he won't hurt her friend's feelings during the blind date. She tells him to be honest with Ha-yoon and not lie to her. If she finds out that he has hurt Ha-yoon's feelings, she will come after him. He seems to get interested in Miso and her behavior. That boy happens to be Ham Jin-woo, whom she met in the present. During the blind date, Ha-yoon chooses Jin-woo and says go, and Jin-woo also chooses Ha-yoon as his partner and says go. They have a date together where they eat, and Ha-yoon takes a picture of him and tells him that she wants to draw him to get to know him better. One day, Ha-yoon and Jin-woo go to the club that Miso is working, and Jin-woo immediately recognizes her as he remembers her coming to his school that day. Gi-hoon is the leader of the band in the club who invites Miso to perform on the stage with him. She goes up and starts singing with him and dancing too. Jin-woo is looking at her closely as she seems to be interesting for him. The three of them become close to each other as they spend more time together. They go to the beach together as they did before in the past, but now Jin-woo is added to their group. Their friendship seems to be without any problems until one day they decide to visit a cave where they make wishes. As Miso is making a wish, Jin-woo is looking at her. She gets interested in his necklace, and he says it once protected him from almost dying. Jin-woo gets close to her and kisses her. Both of them go out of the cave and see that Ha-yoon has successfully reached there, even though her legs were hurting. They pretend nothing has happened, but Miso feels bad about and wants to escape the situation. Miso decides to move to Seoul with Gi-hoon, the club's band leader, because she loves Ha-yoon more than herself and feels guilty towards her. Ha-yoon also sees that Miso is wearing Jin-woo's necklace, but doesn't say anything. That's the beginning of their separation. Miso is working in a club with Gi-hoon and learns how to draw too, as Ha-yoon told her in the past that she can draw too. Ha-yoon is taking her college exams and getting ready to go to college. Miso keeps writing letters to Ha-yoon and lying her about her life. She tells her that she has a great life in Seoul and tells her how much Gi-hoon likes her, and she feels very happy. She doesn't tell her the reality of her life because she doesn't want her to get worried. Miso lies to Ha-yoon and tells her that she's traveling around the world and exploring different aspects of art, but she is not traveling at all. Miso is working in a hotel, and she's having a hard time making money for living, but she doesn't give up on drawing as Hyun is her role model. Jinwoo tells Hyun that he has to move to Seoul to attend medical school, but Hyun gets sad about the fact he will leave the island. Hyun tells Miso that she has said that Jinwoo will leave her without knowing that Miso is having a very difficult time working at multiple places. Miso gets the news that her mother has passed away, but she doesn't tell anyone about it and carries the burden on her own. She decides to go back to the island and meet her best friend again as she misses her a lot. They start spending time with each other like they did in the past by going to different places and having fun. The scenes are similar to what we saw in the beginning of the movie when they were kids, and both of them think that they can be like they were in their childhood, but they don't know that many things have changed for them. One of the obstacles is the difference of their financial status. Miso wants to stay in a motel, but Hyun tells her that they should stay in a hotel, and she pays for it. Miso tells her that she should treat her to a meal in a great restaurant, and Hyun accepts it. Miso looks at the menu and realizes that she doesn't have enough money to pay for the meals. She goes another table and prepares drinks for them by performing too and receives a bottle of wine for reward. Hyun is disappointed in what Miso is doing and scolds her, and Miso asks her if she is embarrassed of her and tells her that this is what she's been doing all this time in order to stay alive. After their argument, Miso leaves Hyun. After some time passes, Jinwoo meets Miso, and she says that she's become a realtor and has a boyfriend too. As they are talking, the police and ambulance arrive, and she runs to her boyfriend's office and sees that he has taken his own life. She feels very sad and disappointed because he took all of her money and now she is left with no money again. Jinwoo witnesses all this and tries to calm her down. As Jinwoo is taking Miso home, Hyun is also waiting in front of her house and sees them coming home together. She takes Miso and tells Jinwoo to stay outside. Miso is not feeling well and throws up while Hyun is getting angry at her. Miso tells Hyun to be honest with her. Hyun tells her that she shouldn't wear that necklace, and the only person who loves her is she and no one else. Miso returns the necklace to Jinwoo, as Hyun told her to do so. Jinwoo remembers the past when he kissed Miso, but Miso didn't kiss him as she bite his tongue. She just asked him to give his necklace to her to bring her luck as it did for him. She then leaves them. Then in the present, Miso's daughter is wiping her mother's tears as she is sleeping. Hyun again writes to Miso and tells her that she has moved into Jinwoo's house, and they start their relationship, which is very new experience for her. She tells her that she has become a teacher now, and how Jinwoo wants her to move to Seoul with him, and he thinks that the world of art is just a hobby for her. It's her wedding day, but she isn't happy at all. Everyone comes to take picture with the bride, but she doesn't smile in any of her pictures, which shows that she regrets marrying Jinwoo and wants to escape that place. She looks at her picture, which she is crying, and makes a big decision in her life. Jinwoo is running to the bride's room and sees that the bride has escaped, and she had left the picture on the chair. Hyun has made a life-changing decision in her life. She tells her parents that she wants to go to Seoul and quit becoming teacher. She wants to explore more in art and follow her dreams. She writes in her blog that she wants to be like Miso and take risks in her life. She moves to the same apartment that Miso used to live in. She rides a scooter similar to Miso, which shows that she has become free-spirited like Miso, as she has always wanted to. She starts drawing Miso's portrait. Miso is attending classes, where one day she goes out of class and meets Hyun there. She takes her to where she lives. She is living with a very kind lady, and the landlord is a very kind woman. Hyun is traveling around the world and writes letters to Miso, which is similar to the beginning of the movie, where Miso was writing letters to Hyun. We see that Miso is happy with her new life at that house, and Hyun is enjoying her trip and exploring more about art as she is traveling. It goes back to present where Miso hugs her daughter, which she calls her Hyun. Jinwoo sees them and gets curious about it. Miso talks with him and tells Jinwoo that she's his and Hyun's daughter. Miso remembers the day that Hyun comes to her class, and she sees that she's pregnant. Miso takes Hyun to her house, and she says that Jinwoo doesn't know about the baby. Miso tells her that she will take care of them. She's the only person that Hyun wants to rely on at that moment. Then we see Miso is at the hospital, where Hyun gives birth to her daughter. The doctor says that both of them are fine. She goes to the room, but Hyun is not there. She calls Miso and tells her to take care of her daughter as she wants to explore more in the world. She tried to convince her to come back, but she leaves the hospital after talking to Miso. Jinwoo is spending time with her daughter without telling her who he really is. The next scene is where Miso is crying in the car while remembering the past. She is remembering the day Hyun gave birth to her daughter. The reality is that Hyun passed away during the birth due to excess blood loss. The doctor says that they could only save the baby while the mother didn't survive. This is very devastating for Miso, as she lost her friend at age of 27, where she thought she would die at that age. She is left alone with Hyun's daughter. She decides to raise her on her own without telling Jinwoo about it. She finds the portrait that Han was working on. She continues where Hyun left off in order to finish her work. She also writes her Milky Way blog in the name of Hyun, so everyone would think that she is still alive. She works really hard in the office to make money, raise Hyun's daughter, work on the portrait, and write their story in Milky Way blog. Her goal is to finish the portrait and give it to the gallery in the name of Go Hyun as the artist. She sees Hyun in the mirror as she is finishing the work. This was a job for her that she felt responsible to finish, and she successfully finishes it and sends it to the gallery. Miso takes Hyun's daughter to the gallery so she could see her mother's work. There are all the portraits that she'd drawn. Miso feels accomplished as she sees the portrait that Hyun was working on is now in the gallery with her name as the artist. By the end of the movie, we know that Miso never tells anyone about Hyun's death, and she even told Jinwoo that she's still alive, but she doesn't know where she is. She keeps writing blog with Hyun's name in order to keep her alive in everyone's memories. The movie ends with the scene showing that Hyun is in a different place, showing that in Miso's mind, she's still alive. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for upcoming recap videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Bye everyone.